Ram is about to shock the truck world with a trio of Hemi-powered pickups. But should you wait for them? We've got 6 reasons under the hood of this Ram 1500 that say no. You're watching Autoblog. So Ram fans were thrilled when the company announced that it was bringing back the Hemi V8 after a 1-year hiatus. They were not happy when the company announced that the Hemi was not available for the 2025 model year and it was being replaced by the 3-liter twin turbocharged Hurricane engine, even though that engine makes more power and more torque than the Hemi. Now for the 2027 model year, it is not only back, but they are bringing back the sport truck. Not just bringing it back, but they are launching 3 new models called the Rumblebee. There's going to be 3 different versions of the Rumblebee, each getting a different version of the Hemi V8. So the standard Rumblebee is going to be powered by the 5.7 liter Hemi. Now that produces 395 horsepower and 410 pound-foot of torque. So the same amount that you would expect to get from a normal 5.7 liter Hemi. Now that'll be pretty cool for people who just want like a cool V8 powered sporty looking truck, and that will be really awesome. But the big exciting news is the Rumblebee 392. This is the first time ever that you've been able to get the 6.4 liter Hemi V8 in a Ram 1500. This engine has been available in the Ram 2500 before, but never the Ram 1500. And here it's going to make 470 horsepower and 455 pound-foot of torque. So I cannot wait to drive that one. Then there's going to be the range topper, the Rumblebee SRT. This baby is getting the 6.2 liter supercharged V8 that you know and love from the Hellcats and the Ram TRX. And here it's going to be producing 777 horsepower and 680 pound-foot of torque. And this thing is going to be a tire shredding monster. But how does that stack up to the Hurricane engine that you can currently get in the Ram 1500? Well, the standard output version of this truck is already pretty powerful. 420 horsepower and 469 pound-foot of torque. That's more than you can get from that 5.7 liter V8 that's going to be in the lowest version of the Rumblebee. And I said at the beginning of the video I was going to give you 6 reasons why you might not want to be that excited about the Rumblebees under the hood of this particular truck. This is the Tungsten Ram 1500, the most luxurious version. It has the high output version of the Hurricane Inline-Six. That means it has 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. In other words, it's a turbocharged monster. Ram is saying that the regular Rumblebee with the 5.7 liter engine will do 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. If you get the bigger 392 with the 6.4 liter engine, you can lower that to 5.2 seconds. But the Hurricane standard output, not even the high output that I'm driving, has already been tested from 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds or less. Some outlets have tested it as low from 0 to 60 in just 4.8 seconds. So quicker than both of those trucks. And how quick is this high output version? Well, it can do 0 to 60 in the low 4-second range. Some outlets have tested it to 60 in just 4.2 seconds. It flies off the line. You can just call it the Rumblebee Killer. I don't think Rumblebees are very good at flying in hurricanes. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in sport mode on the steering wheel here, turn on to the straight bit of road, and why don't we see how quickly we can get the Ram Tungsten off the line with the high output Hurricane here. Foot on the brake, mash the gas, revs up to 4,000, and watch it fly. Woof! That's a powerful launch. Woohoo! It is really hot in Florida right now, but that was just under 5 seconds. Whew! That means even in the scorching plus 100-degree heat of Florida, this Hurricane engine, and trust me, turbocharged engines don't love the heat, this thing will beat the Rumblebees in a 0 to 60 race. Now the Rumblebees do have an ace in the hole though, because that SRT model that thing is just in a different league. It's got 777 horsepower, and the Hurricane just can't match that up. That thing is supposed to do 0 to 60 in just 3.4 seconds, and even on a cooler day with really dense air, the Hurricane is not going to be able to match that time. So I grant that the Rumblebee is going to be quicker than the Hurricane, but only the SRT. The 392 in the base model are going to be slower than the 6-cylinder. I mean, the other advantage is how the trucks look, because Ram really styled the heck out of the Rumblebees. They look really cool. I love the fact that they did shorten them. They do look really great. They've got some great wheels. They just have the whole look to them. So if you want a really cool looking truck, there's going to be nothing else on the market like them. I mean, I guess you can go to Roush or Shelby. If you have a Ford, there's actually even going to be a Roush Ram as well. Chevy and GMC don't really have anything similar, at least not from the factory. So Ram really is going to have the market to itself right now. I would be shocked if Ford and GM don't see this coming and try to do something similar. Ford already has the Predator motor, but they're not going to buy the Shelby branding back from Shelby. They won't do it for the Mustang, so I really don't think they're going to do it for the F-150. So if this works for Ram, they are going to absolutely print money. This Ram Tungsten is a really nice looking truck. I love that it just kind of looks very handsome. You've got the power retractable running boards. You can get it, with the longer doors. You can get it with the Ram box in the back. It's a much more practical truck. You can get the air suspension that lowers. There's a lot of things to love about it, but it's not going to stand out in the crowd like a Rumblebee. If you want a truck that draws attention, this is not the truck that's going to do it for a little over 90 grand. Perhaps the interior just isn't something you're concerned about, but this tungsten trim level is absolutely amazing. And I know it's not related to the engine specifically, but this is definitely nicer than those Rumblebees are going to be. We've got gorgeous leather interior here on the steering wheel, all over the dash. We've got gorgeous leather on the seats. We've got heated and ventilated massage seats. I believe the base seat on the Rumblebees is actually going to be a manual cloth seat. You might think that's really cool if you're into that, but I'm loving the massage seats here on this tungsten trim. I'm loving the Klipsch audio system. This is possibly the best audio system that you can get in a pickup truck right now. I'm not loving the passenger screen over there on that side. Frankly, I could do without it. I really don't need it, but I do love the vertical screen here. I believe that's going to be optional on some of the lower Rumblebees. I believe the top Rumblebees are going to have that as standard. And I know not every Hurricane-powered Ram is going to have an interior that is this nice, but if you are going to be spending $80,000 or $90,000, probably over $100,000 in the case of the Rumblebee SRT, I really want a pickup truck that's super comfortable like this, that I want to drive long distances. I would want a truck like this Ram Tungsten. Now, the last thing to consider when buying one of these trucks is going to be your rear seat space, because Ram actually shortened the cab on the upcoming Rumblebees. They're going to have the quad cab, meaning they're going to have shorter doors here in the back. That's going to hurt your rear space a lot. Now, here in the Tungsten, I've got a ton of room to sprawl out. I can actually slide this rear seat, giving me room to recline. This makes it a lot more comfortable to sit back here, which is usually a problem in pickup trucks when you have to sit upright. I've got my own heated and ventilated seats back here. I have my own air vents, cup holders, USB ports. I have an AC outlet. I've got a speaker right here. I have a panoramic roof. This is basically the best back seat that you can get in a pickup truck. And if you get the Rumblebee, you're going to have a lot less space in this. So if you want to be a really good parent, you would get the Tungsten, not the Rumblebee.
Now, this is the part of the video where I had planned to talk to you about relative pricing and how the better value is actually going to be with the Hurricane Inline-Six, and I was going to speculate on how much these Rumblebees were going to cost, but Ram has actually just released pricing on what the Rumblebees are going to cost, so let's talk about it. The base Rumblebee with the 5.7-liter engine is going to cost just under $60,000, although we are going to talk about pricing with destination, so you're going to be looking at $62,790 for the base Rumblebee with the 5.7-liter engine. If you want the Rumblebee 392, that pricing is going to be $72,790 with destination, or there's something called the Rumblebee 392 Track Pack. Now that one is going to be way more pricey at about $82,790, so that's still less expensive than the Ram Tungsten that I've been driving in this video, which is about $88,000 or $93,000 as you've seen it equipped, but it is not quite as luxurious, and as we've shown, it is not quite as fast either. Now, it is more expensive than a Ram RHO with the Hurricane High Output Inline-Six, but again, it probably won't be as quick either. Now, the Bee SRT, the one vehicle out of the three that will be quicker than the high output Hurricane. How much does that cost? Well, with destination, you're going to be looking at a little under $98,000. So it's a little bit less expensive than the Ram TRX SRT. So it's a little under $100,000, but I'm sure there's going to be some options available on top of that. So if you want the only one of the Rumblebees that's actually going to give the Hurricane a run for its money, you're going to be spending quite a bit of money.
All right, so I don't want to sound like the fun police. I am so excited to at least try the Rumblebee trucks. How could it not be fun to try the revival of the sport truck? No automaker has been really wanting to give it a try. They've all been obsessed with building off-road trucks like the Raptor and the RHO and the T-Rex. So trying something new with the Rumblebees is at least a fun idea. I do just think it's kind of funny that the Inline-Six that's in this truck is a little faster than the Hemi V8 that's in those trucks. So I wanted to make a fun little video about it. Let me know in the comments if you're more excited for these street trucks with the Hemi V8s, or if you would maybe buy a normal Ram 1500 with the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 in it instead of one of the Rumblebees. I really want to hear from you in the comments which of these engines you prefer. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And check out autoblog.com, where you can keep up in all of the latest and greatest in automotive news. That is where you can also read my work as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.